Padre Pio reveals 5 secrets of the Rosary that will astonish you. Have you ever wondered if a simple gesture could transform not just your rest, but your entire spiritual life? It is not a talisman. It is not a magical object. Yet, millions of people have it in their homes, and few truly understand its full power. The Holy Rosary under your pillow while you sleep. Many pray it every day, some carry it in their pockets, and others hold it tightly in moments of anxiety. But what happens when we bring it even to the most intimate and vulnerable space of our lives, our sleep? That is the question that opens a door to mystery, an invisible weapon. The Rosary is far more than a series of repeated words. It is a spiritual weapon, a shield in the dark, a silent reminder that we are never alone. The hours of night, when the mind becomes restless and thoughts swirl like shadows, can transform into a sanctuary of grace when the Rosary is near. Every bead becomes a link of faith. Every mystery becomes a flame of light in the midst of darkness. Think for a moment. Do not our fiercest battles often come in silence when no one else is watching? The Rosary quietly reminds us that there is always a presence with us, a presence that protects, guides, and strengthens. The saints understood. Throughout history, the saints recognized the profound power of the Rosary. One of the most remarkable, Padre Pio of Pietrelcina, never parted from it. He prayed it constantly, letting it connect his entire life to God in a continuous thread of devotion. His companions often said that even in the simplest tasks, he never let go of the Rosary. He advised that it accompany our sleep as well. Why? Because rest is vulnerable. And what is most vulnerable is what needs protection the most. For Padre Pio, the Rosary was like a second heart, beating day and night in a never-ending prayer. If a man who faced the fiercest spiritual battles carried it as a constant weapon, shouldn't we too make it our refuge? Okay, now let's 5 reasons it can change everything. 1. An anchor in the storm. When worries invade our minds at night, the Rosary under the pillow becomes a lighthouse in a stormy sea. It reminds us silently that God watches over us, even while we sleep, even while the world turns and time passes. 2. An invitation to awaken. When you open your eyes and feel the Rosary in your hands, your heart remembers immediately to whom your first thought belongs. Not fear, not haste, but God and the peace that only He can give. Each morning becomes a new opportunity to begin with Him, to surrender your day to His guidance. 3. The maternal presence of Mary. Sleeping with the Rosary is like resting beneath the mantle of a mother who never abandons. It is a silent gesture, a prayer without words, saying, "Mary, stay with me tonight." Her presence transforms the quiet night into a space of divine protection, a gentle embrace that soothes the soul. 4. Renewal of faith. Each bead we touch, even unconsciously, reinforces a promise in our hearts. I believe, I hope, I trust. Repeated night after night, this simple act gradually strengthens the spirit, shapes the soul, and transforms doubt into unwavering faith. 5. Strength in spiritual battle. Life is more than what we see. There are battles that remain invisible, temptations that strike silently, challenges that no one else notices. Placing the Rosary under your pillow is a declaration. I am not alone. I fight with heaven at my side. Even in the quietest moments, it reminds us that our struggles are never unseen, our efforts never unnoticed. The mystery of the early hours. Have you ever woken in the middle of the night for no apparent reason? Many call it insomnia. Some call it restlessness. But the saints saw it differently. They understood these quiet, unexplainable hours as a call from heaven, a gentle whisper that pierces the darkness to reach the soul. While the world sleeps, the heart in prayer becomes a light that balances the shadows. And having the Rosary nearby allows us to answer that call the instant it arrives. Even a single whispered prayer during these hours can transform rest into an encounter with God, a dialogue with the divine. Padre Pio's example. Padre Pio advised his spiritual children that whenever they felt weary or burdened, they should hold the Rosary tightly, not as a magic formula, but as an act of living faith. He himself wished he could pray more than the day allowed. So deep was his devotion that when asked what spiritual legacy he would leave, he answered without hesitation, the Rosary. If a saint who faced unimaginable trials left this teaching as a treasure, what does it tell us? Living in a world full of uncertainty and confusion, it reminds us that the simplest acts, performed with faith, are the most powerful. More than a practice, a refuge. Placing the Rosary under your pillow is not superstition. It is an act of trust, a hidden declaration of faith whispered in the silence of the night. It is a gesture that says, "Lord, I place my rest, my dreams, and my tomorrow in your hands." It is a silent prayer, even without words, that continues to speak while we sleep. It is remembering that even as we close our eyes, God continues to work. Angels guard, Mary intercedes, and grace flows where we cannot see. It is living with the certainty that the night is not emptiness, but mystery. A time when heaven is closer, when unseen battles are fought, and when a simple Rosary beneath your pillow becomes a shield of light. It is an invitation to rest without fear, to dream with hope, and to awaken each morning under the mantle of Mary, who never sleeps, who always watches, and who always protects. More than a practice, a refuge. Placing the Rosary under your pillow is not superstition. It is an act of trust, a hidden declaration of faith whispered in the silence of the night. It is a gesture that says, "Lord, I place my rest, my dreams, and my tomorrow in your hands." It is a silent prayer, even without words, that continues to speak while we sleep. It is remembering that even as we close our eyes, God continues to work. Angels guard, Mary intercedes, and grace flows where we cannot see. It is living with the certainty that the night is not emptiness, but mystery. A time when heaven is closer, when unseen battles are fought, and when a simple Rosary beneath your pillow becomes a shield of light. It is an invitation to rest without fear, to dream with hope, and to awaken each morning under the mantle of Mary, who never sleeps, who always watches, and who always protects.